Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Nate from the California Conventions blog, along with my friend Ryan.
Hello everyone.
And we're here with Miss Erica Mendez.
Hi.
Voice actor of many notable animes, including Aladdin from Magi, Ryuko from Killa Kill, and just recently announced Sakura-Con from Anohana.
Yep.
Alright, so first question I want to do, and I always ask everybody, every voice actor that I always ask, is that, well, you started off pretty new actually, like recently, around 3-4 years ago. So how did it all actually start for you? Like, what made you want to be a voice actor?
Oh, I love cartoons, and I got into anime in my teen years, which is, I think, just a great form of storytelling, and I always loved video games, so it just kind of like felt natural at a certain point when you kind of realize that these characters have voices and stuff like that. So it's something I looked into, and I couldn't do stage acting because I had really bad stage fright and wouldn't allow myself to like break free from that until like a little bit later. So I decided to, record my voice and submit it online to people, and I did that for a while just for fun, and eventually I started dating a voice actor from New York and followed him to California because I have a bachelor's in arts and animation. So I was like, well, if I go to California, like I could find a job in animation out there. That's probably the prime place to be. So we moved out there together, and he started working, and I was content just watching him. But because I had like a little bit of experience with the voiceover, and I had a lot of friends out there that were getting their feet in the industry, they would send me auditions every once in a while. And first year I didn't really get anything, but I started getting a little bit closer each time, and then I decided to take classes with Tony Oliver, who's a very big name in the industry. If you don't know him, he's Lupin the Third. He's Naruto's dad in Naruto and Ulquiorra and Bleach and stuff like that, and an absolutely amazing teacher. And he liked me enough that after my second time of taking the workout class that he had been doing, he recommended me to Bang Zoom Studios, who they're the studio I do most of my work with, and I just kind of, at a certain point, it just kind of clicked, and I started working a lot. Yeah, I can't really explain exactly. It's just a lot of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and speaking of like voicing up a lot, I look more into your roles coming up, including like Mob Psycho 100, Erased. That's actually like 2 back-to-back animes like that aired at the same time.
Oh, it is.
So I'm wondering, like, how do you actually handle that?
Did they air it in Japan at the same
It's
time?
already aired. No, it aired. Mob Psycho already aired summer of 2016, and Erased was winter of 2016 last year. So
I feel like I want to say we were done recording Erased by the time I'd worked on Mob Psycho, and it's a little bit of a different thing because I wasn't a main character in Erased, but I was a major supporting character. So Kenya, who I played, came back a lot. So I'd be in every so often, but it's also a short series, so it wasn't like it took months to record. It took a few months because we'd take breaks, but I was never in for more than maybe 2 hours at a time when they'd call me in. But then for Mob Psycho, I played incidentals. I played a character named Chihiro, who was in like the 2nd episode, I believe, and she didn't have very many lines, so they'd have me do like smaller parts here and there, but it was really quick. I was in for like 2 hours for that show total, and then just kind of, that was the end of it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So even though it was like stacked up from like one season to the next season, you still were able to actually handle the situation.
Yeah, I think the thing people don't see as fans is that shows may air at the same time or come out at the same time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we worked on them at the same time. Like, I think the turnaround for Mob Psycho was actually pretty quick, because I remember I'd recorded it maybe a week or 2 before. Because that was when it was recorded in LA, but it was promoted by it's on Funimation's channel, so we did it broadcast dub style, I guess, technically.
AKA the simulcast.
Yeah. So because it wasn't a technical broadcast dub, but it was a simulcast. That's the one.
All right.
But yeah.
So from Aladdin, the first one that you started probably as anime, to Ryuko, because that's actually kind of weird how from a very fun, little character all the way to a very tough girl who's like ready to avenge her father. How much of a change was that for you when these 2 voice acting roles occurred?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a bit of a difference there. As you said, Aladdin's like very happy, but he does have his dark moments, and that's I think what I like about him is he's very well rounded. Mm-hmm. You know, he knows when to be like silly and happy, and like knows when to make friends. But then when stuff goes down, he knows how to get serious, and he knows how to like stand his ground and all that good stuff. And it's just a very very fun character to play because of all those twists and turns. Whereas Ryuko she's doing her voice is kind of like a glorified boy voice for me because I play a lot of young boys. Mm-hmm. So it just at a certain point became a little natural for me. But because she's a lot more aggressive and loud than I am, it was a bit of more of a jump, I think, than Aladdin was as far as like getting into the character. Mm-hmm. So I really had to like work and buckle down to kind of channel her a little bit. And even still, like, Ryuko is a type of character to where you couldn't like take that attitude home with you, because obviously if I walked around acting like Ryuko, I think people would hate me, because she's a bit of a punk sometimes.
She's a punk.
She's a punk for sure.
Yeah. She has a caring heart still.
Yeah, she does. She knows what's right. I think she can tell right from wrong. Whether or not she actually like follows that when it's necessary is up in the air. But yeah, luckily I think we didn't work on those shows at the same time, so it wasn't like I had to like switch between one or the other, but at the similar times. But yeah. Okay.
All right, Ryan, you want to have some questions for her?
Sure thing. We'd like to congratulate us at CCB, or the California Conventions Blogs. We'd like to congratulate you, or at least the team at Aniplex, for the Ordinal Scale release that's coming out, the dub at least that's coming out this upcoming week. By chance, were you excited to see Yuki return, even if it was just for a brief moment?
I actually haven't seen the movie yet. I know what happens, so it's not a spoiler for me. But yeah, I heard about it, and it's super exciting. I'm glad that they did something for her, because she's such a pivotal character in just those 6 episodes. So it was nice that they kind of brought that back in the way that they did. And yeah, I'm sad that I didn't get to record anything for it, because she doesn't say anything. But it's nice that they at least show part of her. And I heard every time I hear about people who have seen the movie, they just tell me how big of a pop the crowd gives and like how emotional people get after seeing that. So it's nice that a character that wasn't around for that long necessarily impacted people so much to where they still care about her, and that impacted them a lot.
Also, speaking on SAO, on the second season, do you feel like Yuki and Austin really had that kind of a sisterly bond? As well, do you kind of see that between you and Jeremy in or out of the booth?
I don't know Jeremy that well, but I think she's a very lovely person. The 3 times we mostly meet at conventions. Like, she's not one of the people I go out and hang out with. Although, I wouldn't mind. We just have different lives, so it's hard to meet up with certain people because we all have different schedules as actors. But I think she's an absolutely lovely person, and she makes an amazing asana, and I'm proud that I got to go on that journey with her, if not directly, because we don't record at the same time, but it's just been nice, like, seeing the reactions to people and how well they think that we do harmonize as those characters.
All right. Last question for SAO 2. At all what you said, and this is kind of a spoiler warning, so for those who haven't seen the end of SEO2, turn away for the next few minutes or just go on to the next question. But were you at all saddened that if you knowing the events during the startup process, the big recording, were you sad to see Yuki go away so early on, or at least wish she had a little bit more to record for her?
I feel like if it had gone on any longer, the impact of her character wouldn't have necessarily been the same. So the fact that you, like I was kind of saying, the fact that you only have a short time to kind of get to know her, even if it's like you don't necessarily start to like her until maybe halfway through that arc, it hits you a lot harder, because you realize, like, at least in my opinion, how great of a character she is, and you want to see her survive, and you want to see her continue on, and like the way that she's set up is that she kind of, what I really like about her is that she brings that backbone back to asana, like the asana that we knew from the first season of Sword Art Online, And I love that about her. Because Asuna was my favorite character, I think, in that show until about the fairy dance arc. And then I was like, oh, she's not as cool as she used to be. Like, she really relies on Kirito a lot more, and that kind of sucks. But Asuna really brought that, what I loved about Asuna. Yuki brought back what I loved about Asuna from that first season. So I love her for that. And then just the fact that she's just such a strong character in general.
Recently, you were casted as Eleanor from Tales of Vesperia. How is it like to work on such a legendary project, or at least a legendary series, such as the Tales of series?
Oh, it's amazing. The Tales franchise is one of my favorite video game franchises ever. So being a part of that legacy and being a part of, in my opinion, my biased opinion, what is probably my favorite and best Tales game since Abyss, which is, or not, it's not that, Abyss is really good, but and it's one of my favorite games, but I've tried playing some of the other Tales games and they didn't capture me quite as hard as Abyss did, but Vesperia is the first one in a while to where I've been like, yeah, this one, it's back to where, when I really loved it. So it's an honor being a part of, this amazing storyline and this amazing cast of characters, and I hope we get an anime like that. It'd be really cool if it got its own anime, because I'd love to revisit the world.
Well, Vesperia did. I can imagine Vesperia would be a great format for an anime.
Yeah.
We know that you play Ryoko Matoi from Killa Kill. At any time or point in the booth, do you ever per se lose your way?
All the time, honestly. Me and the cast kind of found out afterwards at panels, because a lot of us met for the first time at conventions. So we'll do all these panels together, and we'd find out that Carrie Kiernan always talks about how she thought within the first few sessions she was going to lose her job. Like she was so scared about the security of it because she felt like she wasn't understanding the character and all that. And then we ended up realizing that we all felt the same way because it was just such a big show, and Aniplex wanted to take such good care of it. So we all wanted to do it, justice. But at the same time, the entire time we're just in our heads the entire process, and we're worrying more about about stuff like that rather than actually performing. I feel I'm not totally getting myself across, but we're just worried more about doing it right so that we don't lose our jobs necessarily when we probably don't have anything to worry about, because obviously if they wanted to recast us they would have, but they kept us going, and I think we all really grew with the characters and ended up making them our own.
Lastly, on Killa Kill, how was it that either Aniplex of America or Studio Trigger approached you to do the role of Ryoko Matoi?
I auditioned like everybody else, I believe, did. I auditioned for Ryuko and Nonon, and I was actually originally cast as Matsuro, Mako's little brother, but I went in to record for that character, and I guess they hadn't cast Ryuko yet, so they decided to let me re-audition on the spot, just to kind of see how it worked out. And we started with the end of the first episode first, and then the next thing I knew, we were at the beginning of the episode, so I was like, okay, well, I guess this is a thing that's happening, and I am now Ryuko, and we just kept going and recorded throughout the whole series, and I was like, okay, well, that happened, that was a thing.
All right. One more question I have for you. You play the Hunter x Hunter Everest charismatic Gon Freeze. Do you ever feel like you pick up on any of his characteristics or maybe any of his traits at all in or out of the booth?
I feel like his happiness is definitely infectious, so when I do a really sweet moment between him and any of his teammates, it makes me feel good, and I feel a lot better about the day, and it's kind of like a nothing can bring me down kind of moment. So luckily I don't bring any of his more of his bad moments out, but it's really hard because he goes through a lot of weird stuff, especially surrounding Hisoka when Hisoka comes in on the scene. So but I try to just draw from his positivity more than anything.
All right, I got some more questions. Let's go back to voice acting in general. If you were to voice a character you haven't voiced before, who would you choose?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
Yeah, it
think
is.
About it.
There's so many great characters. I I feel like this is probably like a default answer for everybody, but Cowboy Bebop was like, of course, a classic series.
Such a great series.
And I love the dub. The dub is an amazing dub, but if like it were being done now as opposed to back then, I think Ed is a really great character. So I'd love a shot at Ed. I think.
Oh yeah, Ed is a very fun character. It's like as silly as
for sure.
I would say. Okay, now I also did notice that you also did voice as an idol girl for Love Live School Idol Festival, and we actually all have our own opinions about certain girls.
Well, everybody does.
But mine is Nico Yazawa.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, so how does it feel voicing Nico Yazawa?
Oh, it's amazing. She's actually my third favorite girl.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So what is your first then?
My first is Kotori, and then Maki. So actually, the thing about Nico is I played the mobile game first. So like a lot of what you experience with her is her going Nico 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 like every second that she powers you up. So that always like kind of annoyed. The catchphrase annoyed me at first before I got cast. But having actually seen the anime after getting cast, I decided to watch it because I was like, I should probably watch this because I really love the music in the game. So it's only natural for me to dive deeper into idol hell. So I did, and it was it's still happening. It's still a trip for me. But yeah, I really learned to love Nico's character because in the game you don't get to see like her peaks and valleys of her personality, and there's just so much more to her than that bratty girl who is a little bit crazy sometimes with her whole idol obsession. But I kind of realized like how similar we are in the fact that we both love school idols. So it just kind of felt natural that she jumped up from being like sort of a bottom tier girl to like my third favorite.
That's good.
So yeah. I mean, I love all the girls, honestly. Like there isn't one that I hate, but yeah, Nico, this is really something special about Nico. Love her or hate her, like you have to admit there's just something about her.
Following up on that question, one of our readers asked like, how do you counter upon people saying like Nico is not best girl?
Oh, I mean, I get it because everybody has like those personalities that they're attached to, so I don't take offense to it. But yeah, I don't know. I just let people have their opinions, honestly.
Oh, okay. Let me just ask one more question then. I also noticed that you also did voice Sailor Uranus, and she actually had a significant role in Sailor Moon, actually breaking barriers, becoming the first lesbian with Sailor Neptune.
Yeah.
How does it feel voicing a character like her? Like
I think
a very manly girl like her.
Yeah, I think she's the deepest voice I've ever done, even compared to Ryuko, surprisingly. But it's also different, even if people think that they sound similar, because Haruka is like such a cool character. Like she doesn't let things get to her quite as often as maybe say Ryuko does, and she knows like where she stands. So it's really cool playing a character that I feel like is completely the opposite of me in that aspect. And being such an iconic character for the sense that she has a different orientation, and the fact that we're able to like show that relationship in this new dub, I think is really amazing because it's the right time for it, and I think that representation needs to be shown in media. And I've had so many people who come up to me and like thank me, even though it's not like necessarily my doing, but just for being Hanukkah and bringing that aspect to her back. I think it's really cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we just got we're running out of time right now, so I want you to have your time as well. But thank you very much, Ms. Mendez, for our interview.
Thanks.
And I would say thanks for everyone.
Pretty much like everyone here at California Convention Blog, I'd like to thank you, our fans, our readers. Primarily, we thank you for having time to come out to Sakura-Con 2017. And for everyone here at California Conventions Blog, this is Ryan.
This is Nate.
And Matthew.
And we're signing out.
All right. Thank you so much, Mendez.
Thank you.